Let's have a discussion about boxing. Well, it's a boxing channel. Huh? Yeah. Doesn't seem like it sometimes, but it's okay. That's all right. Let's talk about boxing and the brutality of boxing. Is it okay to call a fighter a coward? Is it okay to say a fighter quit, calling him a quitter? Is that okay? Look, me personally, I'm careful about that stuff, right? That's me, right? I choose. See, I believe everyone has a choice. I choose to be careful about the things I say. Not to say that I've never said a fighter quit. Not to say that I never called a fighter a coward or a quitter. I'm just personally careful about what I say, right? I personally have a lot of respect for these fighters and what they do. I think in large part, boxing fans do, right? But this idea that as a boxing fan, you're expected to always show respect, to bow down and just nod your head, yes sir, whatever you say, yes, you're the warrior. You're the warrior, we don't question, we just nod our heads. You know, if your nature is to be an authoritarian, then that's fine, right? But I like to believe that we should all be free to express ourselves, right? The honesty is one of the most beautiful things about boxing. This is what I believe. If you get offended by people saying things like that, they should pack up your shit and stop watching boxing. Join the crowds that want to ban the sport, right? Get in line with people that want to ban football for the concussions. Get in line with people that want to ban MMA. Get in that line and join those people because you're honestly watching the wrong sport. Watch another sport that doesn't have brutality in it. There's plenty of them, right? I find it astonishing that you would be supporting a sport with this level of barbarism, right? Yet say things that are contrary, right, to what you're supporting. And we've heard it, right? Oh, how dare you say that? These fighters put their lives on the line. You don't have a right to say that. I say bullshit. I think we do have a right. I think if the people that are being criticized, us the fans, for expressing ourselves, if we didn't exist, there would be no sport. There would be no boxing. There would be no money to make in boxing. It just wouldn't exist. We know it's brutal. We know it's a dangerous sport. All right? We know. Right? We know it's a hurt business. We know this. This is why it's a popular sport. This is why people watch it. Maybe not as popular as it was in its heyday, but worldwide, a lot of people still watch boxing. Okay? So this idea that, you know, oh no, how dare you? You know, just look, as much as I disagree with a crowd that wants to ban boxing and football and MMA, as much as I disagree with them, when they stand by their principles and they say, I don't even watch it. I don't watch boxing. I don't watch football. I don't watch MMA. I think it's barbaric. I'm totally against it. I'm not going to support that stuff. At least those people, okay, stand by their principles. As much as I disagree with them, they stand by their principles. A lot of you, like, I just don't know what sport you think you're watching. There's two types of people. Let's think about a knockout. Let's say Martinez, Paul Williams, right? When that knockout happened, there are two types of reactions in large part, right? One reaction is, oh shit, he knocked him the fuck out, right? There's that. It's that brutality of it. This human being just got knocked out unconscious, right? Brutally knocked out. Hit the canvas hard. The crowd is cheering. Martinez has his arms in the air and you know, against the corner. Everybody's going crazy, cheering that a man just got knocked the fuck out, right? Think about that. And then there's the other people that say, oh my God, what are you watching? Oh, I don't even want to see that, right? Either you're one or you're the other. You can't support this sport and then turn around and make people feel guilty about shit. See, they flipped it. Now we're told it's no longer we're the fans, we make the sport happen, right? In Hall of Fame speeches, legends thank the fans for making the sport possible. Without the fans, you know, we wouldn't have all this. I wouldn't have had my opportunities, right? Now it's like this new generation has flipped it. Now it's, how dare you? I put my life on the line for your entertainment. Look, let's have a very serious discussion, right? First of all, I know the sport of boxing is dangerous, right? I think we all understand it. But a lot of you cheer for a knockout, but you even cheer wars. That you'll watch like a war where two guys are trading blows, and yet you like to talk the way you talk, right? When someone criticizes a fighter, but you cheer along when two guys are getting, you know, punched in the face, right? So do I, but I'm not being a hypocrite about it, right? Here's the thing, all right? I understand. I think all of us understand that this isn't a game. It's serious business in there, right? It's the hurt business, right? I understand that it is possible, you know, it's always possible, you know, there's always a possibility that a fighter can get seriously injured or even die in the ring. And we understand that given a long enough career, a fighter could end up having a lot of complications later in his life. We understand that. Okay? And for the most part, I think most fans have the idea of, well, if he's not even relevant anymore, maybe he should retire, or, you know, whatever the case is, right? Overall, right, I think most boxing fans, while they enjoy the barbarism, and we do, right, in large part, when a fighter is no longer competitive, we just want him gone, to retire, right? No need to take any more punishment, right? Especially when you're not competitive anymore. I think in large part that's how most of us are, but nonetheless, we understand that, okay? But man, I'm so tired of hearing the insinuation of, you'll never understand what these fighters go through, right? And you'll never put on a pair of gloves. You don't have a right to criticize. You know, this notion that boxers or fighters are the only people in life that have obstacles to overcome. Look, I understand it's hard, right? You have training camp, you know, you got to get up early in the morning, you got sparring, right? And then you have the fight where another individual's trying to knock your head off. I understand that, but you have the preparation for it. You have a trainer, okay? You're able to physically defend yourself, right? That's the whole point of the sport, actually, defending yourself and trying to hurt the other individual. But you know, you have time to prepare in large part, right? Aside from occasional 2 week notices, etc. But nonetheless, you have time to prepare. You first of all chose this as a profession. Nobody forced you into it. In no country on earth that I know of is a child forced to become a professional fighter, right? And especially not in the United States. You know, we understand that it's a dangerous sport. We get that. I cannot stress that enough. But this idea that only fighters go through obstacles, only fighters, you know what it's like to get punched in the face, to feel pain, to be put in a situation where your life is in danger. Only fighters, right? I mean, the arrogance of it, right? It's one thing to say, man, I respect these guys. They get in the ring, and that's one thing. I do. I respect them, you know? But here's the thing. They're not gods and shit, right? They're not God Almighty, right? It's not like they're above everything. There is, in fact, people that put their lives on the line all the time, right? There's jobs that are, statistically speaking, far more dangerous than boxing. And people do those jobs, right? Many of them in countries where they don't even pay all that well, right? And they especially don't make the type of money that a lot of these high-end boxers that use the, you know, that have already made their hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars per fight, yet they want to use the whole, I put my life on the line. You don't have a right. You don't understand what I've been through, right? They don't make that type of money, right? Look it up. Look up jobs, the most dangerous jobs in the world, right? And look at the statistics per capita, how many people die doing those jobs. Look at the injuries of those jobs, right? Yet you never hear like those people talk shit, right? There are people that are put in situations in life, right, out of their control. They didn't choose it. It's out of their control. They're in situations in life, and they're literally fighting for their life. Okay? Keeping a high morale for cancer patients is extremely, you know, important. Okay? High morale can help them out. If they just quit and no longer want to fight, if you think it's easy for a cancer patient to go through the chemo and the radiation, right? You don't think at times they just want to say, fuck it, I quit. I don't want to do it anymore, right? But they got to do it, and they're literally fighting for their life. And no one's paying them millions of dollars to do it. There's people with illnesses in the world that fight for their life, children that fight for their life. So don't give me this garbage that, oh yeah, you don't understand. Only fighters will understand what it's like to put your life on the line. What it's like to be put in an obstacle like this. How dare you? You so happen to be participating in a sport where the audience understands that that sport is dangerous. And because of that notion, that attracts people to that sport, therefore provides you with a profession, right? It's simple economics. It's if you know the basics of economics, it's not that complicated, right? So I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm tired of it. Okay? Do you know how many women are living in domestic situations where they're being abused, okay, by their significant others? And some of these women have nowhere to go. They don't have family to go to. They don't have family. Maybe their family is gone, disowned them, or are dead, right? And they have nowhere to go. They're scared. Okay, this individual is mentally abusing them, physically abusing them, right? They get beat half to death. Okay, they have nowhere else to go. Are you telling me that a boxer seriously has it worse than that? Okay? Like, it's just, at this point, there are people that are being locked up in jail for crimes they didn't even commit, and are fighting for their lives in jail, in prison. Alright? Imagine being someone who's completely innocent, get locked up with a bunch of criminals, right? I mean, this idea, all right? It's getting old, man. It's getting old. You can't tell a fighter this and that. It's part of the sport. It's part of the theater. It's part of the entertainment. It's just part of it. Okay? It's not personal. To me, it isn't in a way. If I say, oh, that fucker's a coward, he doesn't want to fight so-and-so. It's not fucking personal, right? It's part of the fucking sport, all right? So, fuck off with that shit. Go fuck yourselves, all right? How about that? If you don't want to watch it, then protest it. If you don't want to see poor individuals, okay, listen to yourselves. If you feel like this person's putting his life on the line all the time, poor guy, and he's getting, look how they talk to him, and they call him a coward and a quitter, and poor guy, then how could he even support a sport like that? Ban the sport then. At least get in line with those people and those principles. If you're not going to do that, then stop being a hypocrite. Stop cheering when two guys trade. Stop cheering when a guy gets knocked the fuck out. Okay? Just stop watching knockout highlights on YouTube. Just stop it. Right? This is a testosterone sport. Right? That's what it is. Right? It's a brutal sport that attracts us to it. Right? It's legal brutality. There's nothing better than two combatants willingly fighting each other, right? If I go to the club or the bar and two grown men want to fight, like, fuck, I'll fight you. Yeah, come on, bitch, what? Let them fight. That's the way I am, right? Is that different to, in that same bar, I'm watching this one dude pick on this other guy. This other guy didn't even start anything, but he's just picking on him. This other guy doesn't want to fight. Yeah, that's uncomfortable. That's like, dude, stop picking on the guy, right? But boxing is two willing combatants fighting. You're expected to be willing. When you're the champion, you're expected to fight everybody, right? Period. So fuck off.